Ladies and gentlemen, we have an esteemed leader joining us this morning while we get to deep dive in terms of a 10-minute talk. After that, we'll also have a fireside chat lined up for all of you. We have with us none other than Shri Priyank Kharge, Minister of Information and Technology and Biotechnology for the government of Karnataka, who's known to be a visionary leader driving innovation in Karnataka's IT and biotech sectors. In fact, under his leadership, Karnataka has become a global hub for technology and startups, and he's known for promoting digital transformation, emerging technologies such as AI and blockchain, as well as for fostering skill development. He's also played a key role in shaping the state's tech landscape. In fact, his commitment to using technology for inclusive growth and sustainable development truly makes him a significant figure in India's digital economy. And his tireless efforts, from championing events such as unveiling of the AVGC policy this year, all of these have been truly instrumental in shaping the future of gaming in the state. So, ladies and gentlemen, first up, let's have a huge round of applause, and please help me welcome on stage none other than Shri Priyank Kharge. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us. An absolute delight to have you here. So if I could firstly request you to address the gathering before we deep dive into the fireside chat.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. Honored guests, esteemed members of the community, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, it's my privilege to be here at the Indian Gaming Convention, which is a confluence of creativity, innovation, and technology. As you're aware, I'm from the technology capital of the country, and Bengaluru is known for its startup innovation ecosystem that is not only thriving, not only bolstering the state, but also the entire nation. And we have come a long way from being the back office operators of the world to a cutting-edge technology capital. I'd like to share some numbers with you, only to re-emphasize why I'm here. Bengaluru and Karnataka is the fourth largest technology cluster in the world. We are number one in Indian Innovation Index. We are number one in IT service exports. We corner 38% of foreign direct investment inflows to the country. With 40% share, we are number one in electronics design in India. In machine tools manufacturing, we have a whopping 52% share. In aerospace and defense manufacturing, we have a staggering 65% share. Biotech production and exports, we have 60% share. 21% of the national bioeconomy is from Karnataka. We are number 4 in the global ecosystems for startups. Karnataka is the 5th largest unicorn hub in the world, only behind Bay Area, New York, Beijing, and London. 85% of funding in e-commerce marketplace has been in Karnataka. Just last year, we have raised close to around $15.1 billion. And Bengaluru leads in funding raised for B2C or B2B. In B2B, we are $34.9 billion, whereas our closest competitor, that is Delhi, is around $4.9 billion. And in B2B, we are around 13.5, whereas our closest competitors are close to around $1.8 billion. What's interesting is 25% of all the tech startups in Bengaluru leverage deep tech. And India has 112 unicorns cumulatively valued at $320 billion, and 45 unicorns in Bengaluru are valued at close to around $160.8 billion. 38% of India's 435 soon-to-be unicorns are from my state. We have a great investment ecosystem in Bengaluru. We have close to around 1,565 venture capitalists. We have 17,164 angel investors, and we have the highest number of female employable talent. The reason I push this is because that we have we were doing some deep dive into some statistics about how many women-led startups we have in my state. We have close to around 1,100 active women-led startups, out of which they have raised close to around $10 billion. We have 400 plus research and development centers. Out of the top Fortune 500 companies, More than 400 of them operate from Bengaluru. Their R&D and innovation centers. We have 100 plus chip designing houses. We have 70% of nation's chip designers in Bengaluru. We are also the skill capital for the country with 1/3 of all tech talent of the nation available here. And Bengaluru is the second largest hub for AI talent, and we are in the top 5 of the top AI cities in the world. So you see, Karnataka is already building a very resilient, sustainable, and inclusive state, just not for ourselves, but for the nation. And the city's advanced technology infrastructure and vibrant business ecosystem is ensuring that we have a lot of global capability centers coming in to Karnataka as well. We have a whopping 40% share among that. You'll be quite surprised that we have close to around 837 global capability centers and their units in Karnataka. But I get this a lot of times. A lot of people keep printing this in the newspapers, and wherever I go, they keep saying Telangana is catching up, Delhi is catching up, or some other Tamil Nadu is catching up. You know, which is the next closest competition to us? It's at 370 GCCs, and that is Delhi. Mumbai is at 300, Hyderabad is at 270. So the reason I'm telling you all these statistics is to re-emphasize the fact that why we are the leaders in these sectors. And one of the main reasons why we are able to establish leadership in all these sectors, whether it's biotechnology, agri-technology, aerospace, deep space, space, or even gaming, is because that we strongly believe in having a solid foundation with respect to skilling and incubation. You'll be quite surprised. Again, we run over 27 centers of excellence. We run a center of excellence for cybersecurity, agri-innovation, data science and artificial intelligence, aerospace, biotechnology, semiconductor, fabless, machine intelligence and robotics, animation and gaming as well. And by the end of this financial year, I will also be having a center of excellence for health sciences, medtech, a center of excellence for manufacturing, automobile technology, wireless and wireless products, biotechnology accelerator, a fintech accelerator which just got approved day before yesterday, and we'll also have a center of excellence for, believe it or not, water management, because I think we want to make the state a very water secure state, along with, again, we want to lead the nation in that. And also we will also be having a gaming accelerator by the end of this financial year. So be it the architecture of a chip or a code for any software, nothing goes to the global market without an engineer from Karnataka writing a code for it. The reason I'm rattling out these statistics about my state is because I'm here to convince you that the state has all that is needed to ensure that we become the gaming and the animation capital of not only this country, but also of Asia. The global AVGC market is estimated to be more than $366 billion, with animation and visual effects constituting 46% share and gaming 54% share. The country, as of now, boasts as the world's second largest gaming community, comprising of 42.5 crore gamers. And from 2020 to 2023, the online gaming segment in India experienced a rise of 28%, which was a market size of 16,428 crores in 2023. And by 2028, in the next 4 years, it's going to double, close to around 33,248 crores. And the sector directly and indirectly employs around 1 lakh individuals with a prospect of expanding to 2.5 lakh job opportunities within the next 1 year. And India has close to around 1,400 online gaming startups in 2023 and 430 crore gaming apps downloaded in 2023, while in-game purchases and deposits contributed 8,370 crore through UPI transaction volume in India. So the other main pain point for the governments are something that I think you will understand is India's online real money gaming industry. This segment enterprise has a valuation of close to around 1.6 lakh crore, and estimated corporate tax and TDS contribution to the exchequer by the real money gaming sector between financial year 2024 to 28 will be a staggering 6,800 crores. The estimated GST contribution to the exchequer by RMG sector between 24 and 28 is estimated to be close to around 76,000 crores. No wonder the finance minister, the central government, and me are engaging with you very closely. So you're going to be contributing heavily to the national exchequer as well. And what really took me by surprise is I was reading this report recently where they said in the last 2 years, there has been a jump in esports viewership that by 83%. 83% in 2 years is a huge jump. And we are following this industry very closely as a state government. And the government of Karnataka, as you know, has released the first audiovisual effects, gaming and comics policy in the country. And we've also set up a state-of-the-art center of excellence for AVGC lab, wherein startups, gaming startups come here, incubate themselves. They're able to produce at a very nominal rate and able to create more IPs here. And the new AVGC policy that we have announced recently also is to ensure that more IPs come out from Karnataka. Skills, we are developing skills for the sector. We are incubating and nurturing leadership for the sector. We have a physical space for ideation, innovations, and inventions for startups for the sector. And we want to, like I said earlier, we want to create as many IPs as possible from the state of Karnataka. You'll be quite surprised that we run a program called Elevate, which is very unique to Karnataka, where we offer a grant of 50 lakh rupees. It's a grant. It's not, we don't take any stake in any of the startups. So last year we have funded close to around 30 startups that are in the AVGC sector. Overall, we have funded close to around 983 startups, and but unfortunately, only 30 are from AVGC. So we want to ensure that more people from this sector get these grants so that they will be able to create more IPs, create more jobs, create out-of-the-box games or out-of-the-box services for this sector. And the reason I am interested in this sector is that because it holds great potential to boost foreign direct investment inflows. It has great potential to create employment, and it bring in investments in various other verticals too. And I think encouraging and promoting the sector, it will have a cascading effect on ancillary sectors like fintech, cloud services, data analytics, AI, and cybersecurity, among other verticals. So the reason I have been telling you with so much of statistics is because that I want to send a strong message to the industry captains, to the youngster innovators in this sector, saying that Karnataka is ready for you. Karnataka is going to be the anchor for gaming, animation, visual effects, audio effects, and comics in the future. And we'll be hosting, also I'd like to take this opportunity to invite all of you to Bengaluru on January 29th, 2025 for our annual gaming and animation and visual effects festival that we hold every year. So it started 5-6 years back, and I think we have close to around 18 to 20,000 footfalls every year for this event, and it will be a great place for you to have have networking, to pick up thought leadership, idea exchange programs, understand government policies better, and like earlier the compere was saying that you're not the only hungry folks out there. The government is hungry as well. We are also ready to learn, unlearn, relearn, so that we have the best possible policies in place so that you succeed. Because the government of Karnataka is firmly of the opinion that your success leads to the state's success. So we want to give you a very, very conducive environment to enable growth in your sector, and we want to ensure that we work together as well. So we are starting a gaming accelerator. We are setting up a center of excellence specifically for gaming, and I also am extremely keen to host India's first government-sponsored esports Olympics or whatever you would want to call that, whatever you would want to suggest with that, because we want to ensure that we will remain the leaders in these sectors. So right from being a pensioners' paradise, we want to be the most disruptive innovation capital in the world. And for that, I need to listen to you. I need to hear, I need to understand, I need to learn from you so that I can give you the best possible policies in the country for you to ensure you grow in this vertical. So I'll not take much of your time. I'd like to hear from you as well. Thank you so much for your attention. Thank you so much for the invite, and have a great day ahead. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Karnataka.
Firstly, thank you. Thank you very much, sir, for nudging us with your visionary words and those inspiring stats and, of course, the roadmap ahead. That being said, we still would want to hear you more. So what we're going to do is indulge in a fireside chat, and this chat will be spearheaded by Vivan Sharan, partner, Kuan Advisory Group. So with that, Vivan, over to you.
Thank you, sir, for that very extensive, discursive overview of everything that Karnataka is up to. And so I think we have sufficient reason for you to now look outwards from Karnataka. And I think one of the things that I'd want to kick it off with is, as you mentioned, Karnataka has an asymmetric share of value creation in IT, of skills in IT, and so on and so forth. So how do we now think about global market access for firms based in Karnataka, based in the country? What is missing? What is it that really states can contribute to this endeavor?
Well, I have that also written down in my speech, but I didn't want to bore the audience too much. So what we see, Karnataka is no longer competing with any state in India. We are competing with the global market. You'll be quite surprised to know that we have a dedicated unit within the department that looks at the global access program. So let us say a startup or a gaming company or somebody who has an IP who wants market access to Europe or Asian markets or even the Americas. We have tied up, we have something called the Global Innovation Alliance with 33 countries. And we started this a couple of years back, and it's growing every year. So last year we added around 7 countries to it. So we have this Global Innovation Alliance wherein we champion. If you're registered with the government of Karnataka, you've won a grant with government of Karnataka, you're aligned with our policies, we give you access to markets across different countries. So we have a lot of startups. This year, I think more than 18 to 20 startups have set up their offices abroad. So we are doing everything we can to ensure that the startups, we just don't cater to the Bengaluru ecosystem or the Indian ecosystem.
So I have a controversial question next, which is that, some people may say that whether it is international market access or whether it is domestic success, some of the companies that have scaled to the point where they're well-known household brands didn't go through government accelerators or state-sponsored visits to other countries for building the market access imperative. How do you respond to that? What is really the role of the state in a market which is as free as the digital market? Is it just a sort of a role to play, a negative list sort of thing where you put stuff which you want to regulate harms via, or what is the enabling role conversely?
See, like I said in my closing remarks was that governments should listen. See, how am I supposed to know what the industry wants if I don't talk to the stakeholders? So what's unique with the government of Karnataka is that all the policies that we bring in are done with extensive consultation with the stakeholders. So the gaming industry is going through a big turmoil right now. And who is championing that cause for you? It's the government of Karnataka. No other state government is championing your cause with the central government. All we are telling the central government is that, look, there seems to be a problem in the sector. You cannot kill the industry like this. There has to be a middle path somewhere, and we think these are the solutions. So if we want to ensure that you succeed, we need to listen to you more. We need to understand where you come from. If there, so we have something called a sandbox environment, right? Which is also a part of the Karnataka policy. If there is some policy that or some sector that I don't understand or which is not matured enough for a policy, I allow you to be in that sandbox environment. So till we get a policy or till we get a framework, a legal framework for you to work with, you're free to do business as long as it is not doing something illegal with the current framework.
So this is very interesting segue. In terms of first principles thinking, you have in the US, in the federal structure, you'll have states like California where you'd allow more than a sandbox, you will allow a live experiment with the Californian society, for instance, in terms of the use of automated driving or drone delivery and various other things. So again, there is this interesting space where the states can actually experiment, and there's plenty of things in the state list in the Constitution. So how do you take that forward where you become a test lab for some of these things at scale, not just in a sandbox?
So that's where our centers of excellence come into the picture, wherein if you are incubating with us and if you have an idea that can cater to the public at large or improve our governance, we'll be your first customers. Show me one other state where the government is the first customer for a service or a product of a startup. So that also we are allowing now. We have something called the public procurement policy for startups itself, separately for startups. So you have something that, like you rightly said, let's say using of drones for delivery for medicines or anything else, we are doing. In fact, you'll be quite surprised. We are also building hangars for air taxis that are being tested as of now. It's happening in under the government, on government land, under the government's purview, with all the regulations of DGCA and everything. So yeah, we are open.
So that's very encouraging. I'm sure a lot of the youth in the audience who are building, experimenting would be heart-warmed by that. But how do we also, sir, think about long-term policy stability for some of these spaces? So because this is, ultimately, it's going to be a collaborative conversation between center and states. And we were just chatting that you also, on the other hand, so from the supply side, you want stability. So you want a pan-India market, ideally. But also from the user side, sir, you want a standardized experience. You don't want an experience of a digital interaction in Haryana to differ from that in Tamil Nadu, from that in Karnataka, and so on. So how do we address this going forward? So there isn't really a state-center conversation on digital policy today. And you have an asymmetric share in prompting something like that.
So since we are the biggest holders, the onus lies on us as well. So yes, that's always, see, policy always plays catch up to technology. It's just not it's just not in India. So look at, let's say, AI. So AI is way ahead of any policy in the world. European Union is grappling with it, USA is grappling with it, and so are we. But what, like you rightly said, there are a lot of subjects that constitutionally the state governments can take a decision on in the concurrent list. And we do that. In fact, the government of India did not ask us to do IT policy. We did a state IT policy first. We did the state biotech policy first. We did the cyber security policy first. We did the AVGC policy first. We did the global capability centers policy first, which is being replicated by Niti Aayog, which is being replicated by the central government. So nothing stops us from doing our own state policies if constitutionally we are allowed, number one. Number two, even if we aren't allowed, there's nothing stopping us from recommending to the government. So the classic case being your framework for gaming with real money gaming sector. So I have made suggestions saying that the sector needs these reprieves or need to be certain rules need to be relooked. Otherwise, the sector is going to just die down. So it's always a constant struggle with policy because you are way ahead of any lawmaker or any law being enforced. So that is the only way to do that quickly is to ensure that the private sector also engages with the government often. Otherwise, if you work in silos, we work in silos, we end up bringing in a policy that is either a knee-jerk reaction for something we would have read or somebody would have come and told us, and it just kills the industry.
So last conversation on a subject you love, skills. We need to build skills not just for servicing the world, but also for building products that then help us accrue value from the global digital ecosystem. How does Karnataka contribute to it? And it's not necessarily the case that Karnataka doesn't face a skill shortage. It does in some areas, and we'll need heightened skills if we are to engage with emerging technology, and perhaps those will not all be engineering skills. In many ways, these will be life skills, these will be social sciences skills. How do we think about education more holistically, sir?
So, I think what we generally do is that we bring up a policy without understanding the sector too well. Any sector that is required, whether it's agriculture or aerospace, we need skill sets. And how is it that I can ensure that we have the best skill sets from my state is only by engaging with the industry leaders or the industry itself. So we have come up with, like I told earlier, highest number of female employability talent is with Karnataka. 1/3 of all technology talent is in Karnataka. We have the top AI skill sets in the world in Karnataka. But I can't rest on that because everybody is fast catching up, whether it is Telangana or whether it's Tamil Nadu. But if I need to be ahead of the curve, I need to ensure skilling happens on scale with respect to all the emerging technologies. I have formed a skill council for emerging technologies for 19 sectors, wherein they are telling me what to do, right from cybersecurity to AI to semiconductor. In fact, we are the only state that runs very large-scale integration programs for semiconductors. And I have come up with a program called Nipuna. Nipuna means highly skilled, precision skilling. So the idea is that the people of Karnataka not only cater to the local ecosystem, but also global ecosystem. Our tagline is very clear: skill locally, work globally. So we are creating the most talented human resource available for the world from Karnataka, and this is happening through industry. So we have spoken to probably all over 100 companies, taken their requirements, taken their curriculums, and jointly training them. It is not happening in some Sarkari building where nobody knows. We are asking IBM, what do you need? We are asking Microsoft, what do you need? We are asking NVIDIA, what do you need? And they're giving us the courses, and we are going to deploy it along with them. Trust me, in the next 1 year, you will have the most skilled workforce in the world from Karnataka.
So what better note but to end on this note of conviction. All the best to you and the work ahead for the state, sir. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
Okay, we have an opportunity for a couple of questions if folks in the audience are similarly willing as the minister. So anyone want to put their hands up? We have a gentleman here. And let's ensure it's a question and not a statement of fact. Thank you.
Sir, you just said that around 1,000 startups have received 50 lakhs grant. Could you please elaborate what is the process, on what basis is it given, to whom is it given?
So, so we are sector agnostic, and the program is called Elevate. You can find the details on our website. It's up to 50 lakhs. So some people would have received 25 lakhs, some people will have received 48 lakhs. So it depends on this thing, and it's vetted. It's a process that is vetted by industry leaders, industry captains, sector-specific experts are called and evaluated. There'll be a couple of rounds, post which we'll have a milestone-based approach for the startups, and they receive the funds. So it is a 6-month process. Yeah, so this is a very, very unique program run only by the government of Karnataka. So we have women-led startups, we have a separate program. We have a separate program for the socially disempowered called Unnati. We have a generic program called Elevate. We have a social innovation program separately. So all the details are up on the website.
Thank you.
Gentleman here.
Hello. I said it's heartening to note that Bangalore is now next to Silicon Valley, and I think that's a really powerful statement. Thanks for that. My question is, what is the distance that India needs to cover before we actually, become the gaming capital of the world? Because I think gaming is a segment that's a long road ahead, and we should have some movers advantage there. So how do you foresee? How can we upskill ourselves? Where are we currently, and what is the skill gap there?
See, I think for us to be a gaming capital, we are a long way off, to be very, very honest with you. See, it has taken my state 3 decades to come from the back office operations to become the innovation capital. And now I need to ensure that this mantra of innovation trickles across different sectors. So if you heard me, I told you we run 27 centers of excellence, right from agri-tech to aerospace. So the reason why we are doing it is for 3-4 things. Number 1, develop skills. Number 2, incubate them. Number 3, ensure that incubation leads to innovation. Innovation leads to inventions. And if we do this consistently on scale, then we will be able to get it. So at the cost of sounding repetitive, we are of the, I don't even want to be considered as an investment destination in India. I am very clear in my thought. I want to be considered the skill capital of India. I want to be considered the knowledge capital of India. When I have these two, investments will flow. And I am just ensuring that how can I accelerate these two things? Ensuring great education as a base, top it up with skills, top it up with incubation, everything else will follow. So if you ask me a timeline, I'm unsure, but within the next decade, only purely based on the user base, I am sure it will be much, much faster than the gestation period for services. So now we are more, in fact, I am 100% sure that name any Hollywood movie that is being produced now, which is crossed $100 million, I will bet my money on it, saying that the entire visual effects or the special effects would have been done in Bangalore. There is no doubt about that. Now we have upped the game to a service sector. So from there we need to jump on, and that will take us time.
Last question, please. Anyone with the last question?
Hi. So, sir, since yesterday I've been in this conference, and we have been constantly hearing about the importance of startups to build up the ecosystem in India. So my question is, what is stopping us from replicating, what's happening already in the West? For example, let's say, countries like Canada, if you start up a gaming company there, for a few years, you don't need to pay taxes. And on top of that, the government gives you a tax grant to start up a gaming company there. So what is stopping us from replicating those?
Well, nothing is stopping us. Probably you need to make me the Minister for IT for the nation. I represent my state as of now. But next time, ensure you vote for Congress. We form the government at the central. I will ensure all these things are done. Because what happens is there is a big gap between the central government and state government policies. But having said that, why are we the leaders is because we do exactly what you say. We provide an ecosystem so that as many startups succeed as possible. So this Elevate program that you just heard, it's not big money, but it's a life jacket for people who are struggling. You know, you're in middle of the river, and you need to either get to this bank or that bank. Elevate is a life jacket to ensure that you get to one of the banks of the river. And all our subsidies, incentives, our centers of excellence, which are at a very, very subsidized price, is ensuring just that. But if I need to ensure that it becomes a national program, Chief, you'll have to elect me more.
Thank you. Okay, on that positive note, thank you again.
Thank you so
Mr.
much.
Minister.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. If I could request Shri Priyank Kharge and Vivaan to come together for a quick photo op. And can we have a louder round of applause? Can we also elevate ourselves with that round of applause for Shri Priyank Kharge?